Americans seriously worry me. Hello, you gorgeous donuts. Americans say some confusing things at times, but I feel like in the last few months, things have been ramped up to the next level. We're going to take a look at a subreddit called Americans say, and honestly, the ones that we've got in this video are wild. It's funny because the United States could take over the world even if it all teamed up, if it really wanted to. No, it couldn't. Where does this like false sense of confidence come from? You think that America could take on the entire world? You do know there's multiple continents, right? We could come at you from all angles. Oh God, it'd be like the worst spit roast ever, and everyone's invited. Yeah, I just don't think this would work. I feel like, you know, I like that they've said, oh, well, at least over half of it. I still don't even think you could get half. Like, I just don't think that would happen. I feel like everybody teaming up, we could just crowd you in, you know, just box you in, just get you smaller and smaller and smaller. And then we'll get Texas the last, because I feel like Texas, that's like the scariest place. People from there freak me out. I feel like they're hard as fuck. So somebody posted about Love is Blind on Netflix, saying, just finished Love is Blind Italy and absolutely loved it. Does anyone here know which seasons are either in production or confirmed by Netflix? Are they going to make seasons in new countries or sticking with the existing international versions? What are the next US cities getting a season? What country cities would you like to see on the show? And then someone replied saying, I will watch the UK because they speak pretty good English. I didn't have to rely on the subtitles to know what they were saying. I love the accent. I just love Kieran and Megan. Yeah, it's almost like, you know, we're the creators of this language. That's like going into the Harry Potter universe and saying, Ollivander, oh, you know your way around a wand? Yeah, because I make them, mate. We speak pretty good English. We speak great English. Maybe it's not me. Don't take me as an example of this. I know a lot of people need subtitles for me. Like, I'm really far up, okay? So my accent's just kind of but go a bit further down, okay? Apart from just leave Liverpool out a little bit. But the rest of everybody, apart from Liverpool and Newcastle, are pretty easy to understand. I just love that. In the UK, they speak pretty good English. God, nothing gets past you, does it? Bet that is banned in Europe. Cotton candy and marshmallows. Nobody eats marshmallows out of USA, I think. Yeah, that's why you gatekeeping marshmallows? Oh yeah, we're the only ones that eat marshmallows. Aren't we really fun and creative? It's just such a weird thing to one up with. Oh yeah, nobody else eats marshmallows. That's only us, because we're just really, like, nobody can guess our next move. We're just so crazy. Just for any Americans that did think this, we do eat marshmallows in the UK. I used to go on camping holidays. You burn marshmallows, you know, on the fire. We do that over here. It's a thing. It's not just for you, thank you very much. Okay, so the original TikTok of this was saying why payment is confusing in America, and someone commented, USA invented banking, so there is a lot of technical baggage. I feel like, you know, it's so lucky that we do have America, because if we didn't have America, like, nothing would have ever been invented. Without America, like, the dinosaurs wouldn't have left, you know what I mean? If an American didn't say it, the dinosaurs, right, you've had your time. You've had your fun, breathing fire everywhere, smacking everything with your big tail. I think you need to leave now. Do you mind going extinct? Because we've got a place to make, thank you very much. We've got banking to invent. Alright, marshmallows to eat. Off, Mr. Dinosaur and your friends. The United States invented aviation, and now everyone who flies must learn English as the lingua franca. The sky is American. And then obviously, you know, they've posted a photo of Tom Cruise in Top Gun. You know, that very real pilot. That's great. Not an actor at all. I do love when you go on an airplane and Tom Cruise is flying it. It just fills you with so much trust and hope that you're going to reach your destination. Because it's Tom Cruise. And let's face it, both Top Gun movies were 10 out of 10. And then someone has corrected them, saying the pioneer of aviation was Clement Ader, a Frenchman. The word aviation comes from French. For God's sake, do some research before saying something stupid. The fact this person's verified as well, obviously they probably paid for their verification tick. I feel like there's so many people like this on Twitter. You know, like Threads was the worst thing that ever happened to Twitter, where people can just write multiple posts after and it's just full of gibberish. Like, I read them and I'm like, I just feel like I've just wasted about 5 minutes of my life reading through something that I wasn't even interested in the first place. I think my favourite quote from this definitely is, the sky is American. Is the sky just full of marshmallows? Shit Americans wear, this one is. Pro-life, pro-God, pro-gun, pro-Trump. Where do I get one of these fine-ass t-shirts so I can burn it? I do feel like this is a lot more, or at least it seems a lot more apparent in America. You would rarely walk around the UK and find somebody wearing a top that resembles this, but is like the UK version. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anybody wearing, like, pro and then the Prime Minister's name. Like, I don't know, it's not really a thing over here. Whereas I see so many people, like, wearing tops like this in America, or like graphic t-shirts of Donald Trump. Like, imagine for the people living in the UK, You walking around with a graphic t-shirt of Keir Starmer or like, you know, Rishi Sunak before, you just wouldn't do it. Or Boris Johnson. It's just not really a thing. Who is the most famous person in history? Donald J. Trump. You don't have to like it, but you gotta live with it every day. I don't think he is. You know, he's doing the rounds now. Everyone's talking about him, but I don't think he's the most famous person in history. I think that's a little bit of a stretch. Like, the most famous person ever? Really? Like, in 100 years, are people gonna be saying that? I don't think they are. The most famous person ever? We all know that that's Fizz from Corrie. We all know that that woman, that gem of a woman, is the most famous person that has ever lived. Not Donald Trump, okay? Okay, this one is a really interesting one that I don't know if I'm dumb for this, but I only learned about this like 2 weeks ago. So for people that don't know, the first Harry Potter movie, The Philosopher's Stone, isn't actually called that in America. It's called The Sorcerer's Stone. And apparently the reason why they changed it to The Sorcerer's Stone in America is because they didn't believe that people would be able to like relate to the word philosopher. They thought it was too complex for young Americans. So an American tweeted, apparently it's not Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in the UK. So obviously it's the Philosopher's Stone. That is the name of it. Then someone replied, does this help? You know, just putting English as the traditional and then English American to simplify. And someone responded, this is a stupid response. American English is the standard. Your British English, part of a tiny island nation that is rapidly losing significance and control over its grip of the rest of the world. Sorry, how did you get this from Harry Potter being called what Harry Potter is actually called in this country, but it's changed for America? They weren't even saying anything really offensive here. I've got the actual reason here. It says apparently philosopher sounded too archaic and academic for young readers, while sorcerer had a clearer, more exciting, magical connotation. Which I do think is funny, because I've never ever looked, even when I was younger, and then movies were like, you know, when I was really young watching them, never looked at the Philosopher's Stone and thought, oh, I'm confused here. Oh, I don't think I can start this. I'm very confused. It just doesn't seem very magical to me. Philosopher? Oh, no, not for me, love. What are your thoughts when you see this flag on a store window? And then it's just, everyone is welcome here. Why can't it just be an American flag? That applies to everybody. Does it? Does it really? What happens if I came to America and it was like, oh, everyone here is welcome and it's just America? I'd be like, well, I just don't feel welcome here. I guess from their perspective, you know, it's in America, they're saying it applies to everybody, just forgetting that, you know, not everybody that is in America is American. But I mean, do you really get annoyed from this being in the window? What harm is it really doing? If it makes somebody that, you know, is in one of those communities that are on the flag feel a little bit more like welcomed into the place, surely that's a good thing, right? Like, surely that's a positive thing. I imagine you already probably feel comfortable going into that shop. There might be one person who was part of any of those communities that might, you know, for some reason not feel as comfortable. And this flag might actually make them just feel a little bit more seen. I don't think it's that big of a deal, honestly. Okay, so this comment is on a YouTube video that I believe the guy's talking about British passports. I'd rather not live in a country where memes are banned, but each to its own. What do you mean? Memes are banned. If memes are banned, could I do this? Done that too many times lately. I feel, actually, can we ban memes now? Or just for me? I'm going to put myself on a meme ban just for a couple of minutes. I'll see you soon. Memes aren't bad here, you know. Come over to this channel regularly. You'll realise we're memeing all the time. They haven't got us yet, right? They haven't snapped my neck. You never know though, right? Guys, if I do, you know, disappear, just know it was the government. Just know I took the memes too far. Okay, so someone is saying here about the new WWE champion. If she can't speak American, she shouldn't be a champion, bro. Bro? Come on, bro. I mean, you do know in the name of WWE, right? It's World Wrestling Entertainment. World Wrestling. The entire world. One of my favourite wrestlers from back in the day. I don't think he could speak English. He was called the Great Khali. And he just was like 7 foot. And he would just like squeeze people's heads. And yet he was one of my favourite people. And he would have brought like a massive audience over from, you know, his country. I believe it was India. Like, you know, this is what grows the sport, grows the entertainment. Like, surely if it was just all Americans, then it would only appeal to Americans. And then it would be called like American Wrestling Entertainment, which just sounds shit. And you'd never have Finley or Hornswoggle. Okay, so this person gave 2 out of 5 stars when they were abroad. Would be 5 stars if it was open on Sundays. We are not communists. We are Americans and want to get things done. You mark this place down 3 stars just because the people that work there want a day off. We don't have days off in America. How can you rate it from all the way down from 5 stars to 2 stars just because they have 1 day off? Could you not go on any of the other 6 days? I understand your only day off might be Sunday, but You said you're American, so clearly you're here on holiday. Clearly you've been here for, a few days. Why would you rate it down? I don't think some people from around the world understand the vast size of the USA. France could fit inside of Texas, and you could still drive around and not touch it. It's a weird fantasy to have. Ooh, I'd just love to put France in Texas and drive around just so I can't touch it. Sorry, how has this guy got the same kink as me? What the hell? I thought I was the only person with that kink. Now I'm fuming. Now I've got no individuality. Germany could fit inside of Oregon, and you could drive hours and not touch it. Again, why is this guy listing off all my kinks? Spain is about the size, slightly larger, of California. Spain could... No, it couldn't actually. It couldn't fit. It's bigger, yeah. England is about the size of New York. To get from California to New York is 2,900 miles. From the Canada border to the Mexico border. Along the west coast. Why are they giving us... What is the actual argument here? What do you want? Do you want a medal? There you go. Well done. You've earned it. You put France inside of Texas and you didn't touch it, no matter how much you wanted to. I just think some people are troubled. I think some people are just troubled, and they try and find things that are going to give them a little bit of, validation and give them a little bit of self-confidence of their own country. But I just don't feel like this is it. It's great to be proud of your country. It's wonderful. That's an amazing thing. But when you're taking it to this level, I just don't feel like, it's worthy anymore. I feel like you're just taking the if I'm honest. Okay, so somebody commented about an age gap saying, so I just learned today of the age gap due to the incident of whatever, and damn, now learning she met him when she was 14. Crazy to me. I know they're European, but damn. Excuse me? You trying to call all Europeans Europeans, did I just say? I know they're European and all Europeans do that. No, we don't. Imagine most people, watching this video who, are over 20, aren't going out with a 14-year-old. If you are, please stop. Take this as your sign to stop. So what I've realised so far in this video is Americans, or at least these Americans, think they invented everything, and everyone that lives in Europe is a what is getting taught in America? You have the world's most hated accent. In America, where I am from, everyone hates British accents with a passion. You kidding me? Everybody knows Americans are a sucker for a British accent. Have you never seen the movie Love Actually? When he goes over to America and then, the 4 hot women, they want to bloody sleep with them all at once. This is what happens when we come to your shows. We steal your women. I don't know what I'm going on about. To the Americans watching, let me know this. Do you hear British accents? With a passion as well. Like, if you hear a British accent in your local town or city, do you, feel like you're going to vomit or faint? Or do you feel nauseous? Do you feel like you need to take an Nurofen? Oh, God, a British accent. Paracetamol. Get rid of that here. Denmark's postal service just delivered its final letter after 400 years of service. Oh. Thank you for your work. If America is 250 years old, how is Denmark sending mail for 400 years? So true, bestie. Where were my letters going before this? That's where the council tax bill went, is it? That's where the postcode lottery winnings went, was it? Yeah. Denmark is older than the US. Oh dear. US is very young compared to most countries. The Kingdom of Denmark is considered to be established in the 10th century. Yeah. Again, it's just kind of further proof that, this American thinks that America is the oldest country. Surely this must be, taught or something, because there's too many people that believe this. It's not just one person or 2 or 3 or 4. It's hundreds, if not thousands of people honestly believe that America is the first ever country and everyone else kind of were built around them. Okay, guys, this one's kind of political. So everyone just take a calms and let's just, relax into this. Trump went in Venezuela for the women, not the oil. We don't need oil. We have enough of it. It's good Christian girls of childbearing age we lack significantly. Sorry, what? Childbearing age? What age is that? Oh yeah, we need more good Christian girls of childbearing age. That doesn't sound creepy at all. Put that on your Tinder bio. God, you'll be getting super likes left, right and centre, man. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of these women are going to want to, have your children childbearing age. If you haven't got anything going for you, but you are of childbearing age, just know that's a great thing. Oh, it's the number one thing guys are looking for. They're like, okay, personality, yeah, check. Am I attracted to them? Check. Childbearing age? Okay. Also, who sets their phone in military time? Who do you think you are, pal? I love the aggressiveness with that. Who do you think you are? Putting your phone in military time? You think you're something you're not, do you? Do you think you're in a war zone? Change your bloody back, man. Who do you think you are, dude? Pal? Buddy? You mean military time? 23 o'clock. What the f*** you mean? you mean? Bro, you're the one using it. Shouldn't you know? Americans call it military time. Us Europeans who use it call it the 24-hour clock, or literally just time because everyone uses it over here. Yeah, nobody calls it military time. That's just kind of what we use. I don't know. It's not that complicated. Like, we don't call it 23 o'clock. We just say, oh, that's 11 o'clock. Like, we just know. It's just you're taught it and then you know. I don't think I would be as comfortable with it being like, after 12 if it went back to 1. It would be fine. But I'm just used to like 13, 14. Like, I don't call it 13 o'clock. It's just 1 o'clock. Like, you just know that. It's not confusing. Would that be confusing to some Americans? Like, after 12, it just kept going up. Would that like stress you out? Would you be like, oh my God, I've got to get back to the GP. I'm starting to feel anxious. Like, what? Oh my God, okay, another invention. Real carbonara has cream. No, it doesn't. Authentic Italian carbonara doesn't have cream. The Western version adds cream. Real carbonara was actually invented in Chicago, and that recipe came with full cream. Therefore, it's both an American recipe and the authentic version has cream. Again, I don't believe carbonara was invented in Chicago. I think it was invented in Italy. And then, people that moved to Chicago probably took it over and then it got innovated. Just like pizza is not made in Chicago despite there being Chicago deep dish. How can you genuinely believe this? Like, how can you write this out, put it on the internet and be like, yeah, this is 100% fact? I know these people don't show their faces, so they're just kind of putting opinions out left, right and centre, just trying to seek any sort of validation from people who don't even know who they are. But it's such a strange thing. Like, one bit of research will tell you that this is just not true. Okay, this one is really interesting. Okay, and, even if you're not into football, I think you can see, like, how this kind of shows the reach of America versus Europe. So Thomas Muller, who is a professional footballer, is joining the Vancouver Whitecaps, which must be an American football team, at 35 to achieve a global reach following 17 years of being totally unknown at the provincial German football club Bayern Munich. And that is in response to somebody saying that Bayern's reach is largely in their own country. NYC and LA teams are truly global. Even Muller came to Vancouver because of the global reach in North America. And then you can see on their Instagram followers, Thomas Muller has nearly triple the followers of the entire league of American football or soccer over there. One man has more followers than the entire league. Even Bayern Munich has more followers than the NFL, which is arguably, America's biggest sport. And it's because it's everywhere. Like, only Americans really engage with, the MLS or NFL. Yes, there's a lot of NFL fans in the UK now because, they've tended to do, because, they've done a lot of events in the UK and they're trying to make it more of a global sport by coming to different countries because they realise that they can make a lot more money doing that. But I definitely don't think that somebody is moving from Europe to go to America to get global reach. That makes no sense because surely they can achieve that in their own country. I do think a lot of the time with what we've seen in this video, if Americans haven't heard of it, they just think that it doesn't exist. Now, this one's really interesting, and I don't know how I feel about it. So, it's a receipt from a restaurant, and obviously they've got the amount that they need to pay for, the food and stuff, or whatever they've ordered. But also, there's like a custom tip, which obviously gives you a total. But then there's a plus kitchen tip as well, on top of the tip. Now, I don't know if I was here, if I would just factor in like half and half, or of the tip I was going to give. But it is interesting how there's two different tip variations. Like, in America, obviously, tipping culture is so different to what it is in Europe. Like, with Europe, you just give, like, a percentage of the bill, or just whatever you kind of feel, the service was. Whereas in America, here, like, you basically have to pay every single independent person for their service, because obviously the establishment that they work for doesn't give them the required amount they need to live. Which obviously is so sad, because here, like, they've just put Y on kitchen tip. Because obviously, if you're not used to this, you're like, why would I give a kitchen tip when I've already given a tip? But clearly, the waiting staff don't share out the tips with the kitchen. I know in a lot of UK restaurants, like when you give a service charge or a tip, it will often be split between the kitchen staff and the waiting staff, because obviously the kitchen staff can't get tips because they're not like customer facing. But I do wonder if it is very difficult to go out for food in America, because you have to pay so much money as the customer to tip as well. It's almost like the same price as your bill, depending what you're actually ordering. I wonder if it is just a way for like the actual owners to just save money and just kind of cream off the top and just put more money in their back pocket. Okay, so this is on Twitter. The US is considering paying Greenlanders £10,000 to £100,000 each to support secession from Denmark. And someone replied to that saying, that's more money than many Europeans would make in their whole lives. Is it? I don't think, if you're at the UK and, you're not making £10,000 in your entire life, chances are you're not going to You know, you're not going to be able to pay for much. £10,000 across your whole life. Let's say you live for, I don't know, 75 years. That would be 133 quid a year. Right? Not going to get you that far, is it? 133 quid a year. That's just your bloody kitchen tip in America. Do they think that it's just like rubble over here? That we're all just kind of scratching each other's arses so that we can get a little bit of your food? Oh, is your arse itchy? Do you want us to scratch it? Oh, will you give us them pork scratchings, mate? Come on, a scratch for a scratch. You promised, I remember, you promised. Do they think that we're just living absolutely like awfully here? He's not Italian, but has Italian ancestry. Explain how that works. Is it like being kind of pregnant? What is kind of pregnant? Are you pregnant? I'm kind of pregnant, you know. But what is that? Are you with child? I'm kind of with child, I'd say. You know, just keeping it vague, keep people guessing. Love that. I think, and I'm going to go out on a limb here, that they may be born in America, which makes them American, but their family has origins to Italy, which makes them American, but they have Italian ancestry. Italian-Americans is like a huge population in America. Surely you being from America would know this. Oh, hey, you know what, Donut? I feel like I can't take any more of this. Like, when we look specifically at this subreddit, it kind of just makes me baffled. It makes me lose the will to live. If you do want to see me lose the will to live even more, in our first video looking at this subreddit, click this video right here because some of the posts in this genuinely are the wildest thing you will ever see. Bye-bye.
Camkirkham, baby.